this.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for being here. I have Michael with me because today we're going to talk about Airbnb and how we got started, why we got started, and really just like as a way to document.
Yeah, just documenting what we're doing, you know. That's basically our life. It's what it's been the last few months and what we plan on doing going forward, so why not share it?
So we actually took a few notes of things to talk about.
Okay, where do we start? Yeah, both of us went to UC Santa Barbara, and after school we both just got into the workforce and started working a typical 9 to 5. And then personally, well, I think both of us don't want to do that for the rest of our lives. So we started looking at other avenues to make income.
Ash! Hey, Ashy. Oh Lord. You started this July of last year. So before we met, Michael had already started like real estate, and you purchased a home in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And so then you saved up and you purchased a second home, right?
Yeah. So
Well, you tell them, this is before me.
So in 2020, around the start of the pandemic, is when I got my first property, and I lived there and as well rented out the rooms. So people call it house hacking. Basically renting out other rooms to help offset the mortgage, and I was at the point of living for free essentially. So I was able to save up a lot of money doing that, and then had enough for a second home, which is kind of where the idea of Airbnb started at that time, because I realized that with just regular renters, I was never going to make enough income to stop working on a 9 to 5. And Airbnb, there's obviously opportunity for more income. I would say like mid 2022 is when I started looking into Airbnbs. And I was actually looking at Big Bear in the summer of 2022. Put a few offers on properties there, and unfortunately, or fortunately, depends on how you look at it now, I didn't get them. That was July 2022, and we talk about this now because we met in September 2022. So had I got that Airbnb in Big Bear, I probably wouldn't have been out to have met her in September. So just how things work out.
Yeah, things were meant to be. And then he was like, hey, I'm doing this. Actually, you were in the process of buying that home, and I remember like he had mentioned it. Was like, I put an offer in, like I'm not sure if I'll get it, and I just like believed in you, and I was like, you're gonna get it. And then he got it. That's his second property, and it's in Vegas, and that's essentially like our first Airbnb. And at the time, like obviously we've all heard of Airbnb, and normally you're a guest, right? Like you're using that platform to book someone else's home, but I never considered it like as like the host. Then shortly after that, we were in Vegas like every weekend. You know, I didn't even ask if I wanted to do it.
I don't know how it happened, but yeah, we were driving to Vegas like every weekend basically.
So for almost like 2-3 months.
Yeah, like probably like 2 full months.
2 full months.
Well, just
every
working
weekend.
the weekends.
Every weekend.
We'd be out there.
Yeah.
Getting the place ready.
But yeah, it was just the two of us literally like assembling furniture, unboxing, you know, everything.
Picked her up in a U-Haul from the airport. Insert clip.
I think you know it's real when like you get picked up in a U-Haul at the airport. Like that's it was pretty funny. Yeah, so anyways, that's how that started, and we finally finished up Vegas, fully furnished the entire home, put it up on Airbnb, and just like ran with it.
A couple months of it running and it doing well. I looked at the property I had in Northridge and ran some numbers and checked if it made sense to put that on Airbnb as well. So we started off with just putting a room up on Airbnb as well, and so far that's been doing well as well. For the beginning of the year, we had 2 properties owned, and both of them on Airbnb, doing well. And I didn't want to wait around to get a down payment to buy a third and then put that on Airbnb. So I decided to look into rental arbitrage, which is basically renting out a house or an apartment and getting permission from the landlord to put it up on Airbnb. and renting it out that way. That's a lot less money to get into to a rental arbitrage deal. And you can go as small as a studio, 1-bedroom apartment. So what we have now is 2 other places that we are leasing out and then putting on Airbnb. One of them is in Long Beach, a 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment, and another in Culver City, which is 1 bed, 1 bath. We're at 4 units on Airbnb. I mean, obviously there's like a lot of details that go into each one of these deals or each one of these properties I bought, which if anyone's interested, we can go into more detail, but this is just general gist.
This is like a brief overall summary of like at least our experience with Airbnb so far.
I think that's what a lot of people don't realize. They think like, why would a landlord want to give you their property so that you can put it on Airbnb and make even more money than they're making? Some people don't have the time to do Airbnb themselves, and they just want their place rented and taken care of, and that's what we do. You know, it makes sense to some landlords. Some landlords can see that. You know, I think long term the goal is to own property, but doing the rental arbitrage model allows us to increase our cash flow to be able to buy more properties down the line.
What he said. I make sure it looks beautiful. So
we joke that yeah.
Good, tell.
Yeah. We joke that she's COO, Chief Operating Officer, and I'm CEO because I just make the decisions on what we're gonna do.
Yeah, exactly.
And she gets things done and makes it happen.
I think it works though because Michael is very much big picture and he's like, let's do this. I'm a lot more detail oriented, organized. I'm just gonna brag about myself now. I'm just kidding. And aesthetics, obviously, it's kind of my thing. So
yeah, she'll like write down a list of inventory for like, we have this much soap, we have this much this, you know. And like, I don't want to. I feel like I'm wasting time if I thinking about those things.
Right.
But they do need to get done and to have a successful business because it is hospitality, which is funny enough what she's been working in her real career.
Yeah,
so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense because I already work in hospitality. You know, not Airbnb, but still essentially like same concept. So I have, like I already know certain things that can help when it comes to like running an Airbnb. And
you can tell it's Christmas time. It's December.
Yeah. So.
So yeah, let's see where we're at next year. Same time.
Yeah, same time next year. We'll see you guys here.
Or not. We're not sure.
Well, hopefully, with more properties and more knowledge, more information to share. Yeah.
Let's just do this.